no time to cry. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hit. Scalp or die. The thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the sky. Green and red, they're my only friends. 1 minute charted, never pretend. Pull the trigger, my heart beats fast. Every second, the future's the past. One shot, don't ask me why. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Oh, scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hit. Scalp or die. The thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the The screen's glowing, it's 3 a.m. Charts are moving, I'm chasing them. Candle whispers, they speak in flames. Risk is the devil, but I play his game. Quick moves, no time to cry. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hit. Scalp or die. The thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the sky. Green and red, they're my only friends. 1 minute charted, never pretend. Pull the trigger, my heart beats fast. Every second, the future's the past. One shot, don't ask me why. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Oh, scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hit. Scalp or die. The thrills my high. friends. 1 minute charted, never pretend.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're starting early because I got so much to show you today. Welcome to NFP Tuesday as opposed to NFP Friday because we're all, of course, behind due to government shutdown. Nice to have you guys. There's a lot of business to be done before we start trading. First order of business, those of you who have my indicator, and only those of you who are in my coaching have the indicator. So I'm going to put the coaching link in. If you want to join, this is the only way you get this indicator. There is a new version that's really cool. Really, really cool. You know what it's doing? You know what I added? I added session boxes. So what you see here, this is the blue box. This is the London session highs and lows. This is the London session circumscribed. So we are pretty much at London session highs, both in gold and in Nasdaq over here, as you see it. If you go backwards over here on the box, you also see the Asia session. This was the Asia session box, which was right here. We actually hit all session lows in Asia, came back up, and London has been just kind of building, rebuilding to the highs. So they sold it in Asia, and they bought everything back into London. We'll see how North America will start at 9:30. I put a 5-minute break. All of these things are completely configurable by the user. If you go back to the last section in the indicator, all of the sessions, starting times, colors, anything you name it, everything is configurable. So it's really, really cool. It's .4. Range zone .4 is the latest indicator version. Go out there, go get it. You're gonna love it. These are my default settings. I put everything with my default settings, and you guys can see it. So here you see this is Asia colored in yellow. Europe or London is colored in blue, and North America yesterday. This is yesterday's North America session, colored in green. And you can see it starts at well, it's just, for some reason, this starts at 10:30. It's there's some kind of an issue. I think it's the GMT thing. So if it's weird off by an hour, just simply adjust it in the settings. So I guess this is, for some reason, this is starting at 10:30 instead of 9:30 because of the GMT settings. So I'll adjust it as we go along. But the bottom line is it's super, super cool because it really lets you see the session highs, session lows, gives you much better insight into where the trade is going. Like if it starts breaking session highs on A2 labels, it's almost a certainty that it's going to go higher. Same thing with with session lows, until eventually it stops at a session low and then it bounces back. So it's really, really cool in a sense that it allows you to basically orient yourself like on the playing field with very, very clean, clear perceptions, right? Let me know if you guys like that. Yeah. So this no longer preacher saying that he marks these off with lines. This no longer you don't need to mark them off with lines. And within the session boxes, of course, you have the range boxes right here. So we're on the range as well. So all of that is all yours. Go crazy with it. Item number 2. Before the trade, we're all going to buy some Apex accounts because we're going to try and do straddles. We're going to do a couple of new straddles. I'm going to buy 4 Trade-Evade accounts right now. And let me just get my authenticator. I'm going to buy 4 50,000s and maybe a couple more of maybe a couple more well charts. So, all right, let me hang on a second. 899 565. All right, I'm going to log in. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Let's make sure we buy all the accounts. They're dirt cheap right now. That's the whole point. I'm going to buy 4 for the straddles, and I'm going to buy a couple of wealth charts for later on to show you how I'm going to try and trade a trade post event as well. So let's get a 50,000. All you need to do is check this box. Check this box and write BK save. Very important. If you don't write BK save, you don't get the discount. So if you write BK save right over here, that's all you need to do on this chart. Go next. And I'm going to take this screen off here because it's going to be processing my credit card. I'm tired of having my credit card done. Oh, and you see, let me just show this to you again. See, we bought it for 19 bucks. That's what you want to do. You want to buy like 4 of these guys for 19 bucks. Those of you who have the refunds from me can use those refunds to buy them. And the only thing with it's a little bit annoying with Apex is you got to buy them all at once, one at a time. So we're just going to buy them one at a time. BK save. 50,000. No, sorry, I want to do this one. Make sure you don't check this one because then the coupon won't apply. Come on, baby. Okay. Yeah, I'll take this off screen. Subscribe and pay. All right, great. I'll do 2 more times here. Trade of 8, 50,000. This way, we're going to have 2 accounts to try to pass Nasdaq, 2 accounts to try to pass gold. Sorry, I keep doing this. Don't check this. Check this.
Hello,
Kathy,
hello.
hey,
Good morning.
Kathy is joining us. I didn't know you were joining us. We're sorry, Kate. Hang on a second. You're messing me up here.
Well, you can do your thing while I chit chat.
Okay, you chit chat. We're buying accounts. I'm just getting ready to buy accounts before the event because we're going to do straddle trades in front of the event. Okay, so we just make sure we get 4, 2 for Nasdaq, 2 for gold. Okay, so I'm on my 3rd. Okay, go ahead. You can grab the screen. They know what to do.
Well, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm so excited. I'm, got something really exciting cooking in the books. I just got off the phone with, I don't know if you guys know Candace. Candace, let me share my screen real quick. You guys will be so excited to hear. Let me see. Hold on, let me get her right information here. Yeah, it's Candy the Trader. I'm going to share with you as you're buying your Apex accounts. Where's my screen?
No, you're not sharing the screen yet.
I will.
Okay, no, I'm just saying we don't see it.
Candace. I just got off the phone with Candace. Candace is Chinese like me, so we had a lot to talk about. Candace was the #1 payout in October with Apex. $1.1 million she paid out. And she was telling me her story. Believe it or not, she did this in 32 trading days. 32 trading days, 20 accounts with Apex, $1,500 a day. And, and she had other accounts too with other prop firms. But she did all of this in 32 days. She's an ICT trader. I'm getting her story. I'm going to share with you. We're doing a huge event in January, bringing together a lot of traders with $1 million payouts like Candace, who's very, very private, by the way. If you see her streams on YouTube, which she only does once every 2 months, she doesn't even show her face, but she's great. And you guys will love hearing from her. She doesn't trade ZIP or BFF. She trades ICT. I also have Zamco, who's also pulled out $1 million from prop firms. We have Tyler G, who's pulled out 500,000. Such inspirational stories, sharing their strategy, sharing how they did it. And, quite honestly, all of them, Boris, if you want to come on, all of them are doing it with copy trading, which is kind of what Boris talks about. At least I think that's what Boris talks about every day. The key to the success of these traders is they have one account. Sometimes I'll have account with multiple prop firms because everyone has different rules, and they will copy it across 20 accounts. But, that is it. She, legitimately not only made the leaderboard, but she even posted her actual bank account deposit. So it happens for her, $1.17 million. So I was so excited to be talking to her, to be getting her story to share with all of you. And, that will happen in January. So definitely look out for the information on that.
Yeah, we're very excited. We have a very special event coming up for you in January. And,
yeah, it's amazing.
It's really a big part of it.
So in the meantime, of course, as Boris has already pointed out, today is a big day in the markets. We've got a lot going on. If we kind of drill down just to U.S. events, we've got 3 pieces of data coming out. We have the tentative ADP, which should be out in 2 minutes if it comes out. Average hourly earnings from the U.S. non-farm payrolls report and the October retail sales report. This is not the November one, not the most recent one. That's coming out tomorrow. We have the October retail sales report. But because it's October, that's going to play second fiddle to non-farm payrolls, what average hourly earnings is going to be. Now, with the non-farm payrolls report, you can see market's looking for a pretty low number, 51,000. But the real question and the real test is how does this affect the Fed decision? Will this change the Fed's mind about, interest rates? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what is priced in for January. You can see that the market, this is CME Fed Fund Futures. You can see that the market is pricing in a 75% chance that interest rates, which are currently at 3.5%, will remain at 3.5%. Now, there's a small 24% chance of a rate cut. Now, if you've been with me before, you've sat in our sessions, you will know that this can change a lot, and it really does change a lot. So we've got, a full over a month between now and then, and a lot of data, as Powell said, between now and then. So we are going to have a lot going on. And so right now, the first set of data will be the NFP number, the retail sales number, average hourly earnings. So we know that the market doesn't necessarily expect the Fed to cut interest rates. So they're not looking for terrible numbers, or they don't think the numbers are going to be terrible enough for them to feel pressured to cut interest rates again in January. But what is the price action in the markets? What is it telling us? Let's take a look. If we take a look at the price action in the markets, you will see, first off, dollar yen is lower. It's weaker, pretty much mostly red against the screen. We have stocks which are up very strongly. MNQ is up, although in the short-term basis, it seems to be moving the a little bit of red, and gold is pulling back a little bit. Although on the short-term meters, it's starting to turn bullish, which you can probably see in the 1-hour chart. So what does this mean? This means that all of this is consistent, which is a little bit of a weaker dollar, a little bit of a stronger stocks, a little bit of green on the screen for gold, which means that the market does think that it's going to be, it could be a weaker number, but it won't be so weak that it is going to turn stocks around completely. Now, we don't know, because first off, ADP, they don't have the graph here, but ADP has been weak. ADP, if you remember the previous ADP here just coming out, 16,000, not bad. I bet you the dollar is moving up a little bit, but I don't think this is not tradable, because we're like 14 minutes to NFP. We're not going to have much juice there. But this confirms that maybe the number won't be so terrible. ADP hasn't been great, but but the other indicators of jobless claims hasn't been terrible. So all of that, I think, is confirming the fact that we don't necessarily have, you know, the market's looking for really, really ugly numbers. So therefore, where's the trade? Where's the surprise? Boris will talk to you in a few minutes about the levels to set up your straddle at on your accounts. So make sure you are putting those levels in. And Boris, they need to use our code to save, right? Needs to get all
BK save. Yes.
I don't see.
I put it in. They've already seen it, but I'm putting it in right now again.
Okay. So as I said, the market is not necessarily positioned for a really ugly number. A really ugly number being like minus, basically, or single digits. Single digits or minus would be a really ugly number. If we have single digits or a minus number, then I think, you know, first off, we're going to see euro dollar march upwards because euro's above all of the major moving averages, and there's no real moving average resistance to 1.1820. So plenty of room to the upside in the euro dollar. Dollar yen, I think, also has room to the downside. So if we get a very weak, so we get a negative or single digit NFP, I'll move that down. It's going to be minus dollar yen plus euro dollar. And that's probably going to be plus gold. Stocks are going to be tricky because if it's that ugly, it could be quite a tricky number. Now, if we get a great number, what constitutes a great number? Great number, I think, because the market is not really expecting a terrible number, I think anything above 80,000, and then ideally greater than 100,000. I mean, that would be really, really good. That would be bullish dollar yen. But I would think maybe dollar Swiss would be a better trade. Dollar CAD, which is stabilizing, would be a better trade. Definitely pound for those of you that are trading pound, because BOE is expected to cut interest rates. Now, this would be good for stocks, and then bearish for gold. So that's basically the trade that I think is going to happen off of the NFP report. Of course, we got to see what retail sales comes out. But once again, the retail sales report, I think, we're going to talk about it, but I think it's going to be less important because it is an October number. Tomorrow's number is the November number. And you can see, I don't know why they don't have it here, but oops. But the November, what's going on here? Or was it today's? Yeah, I don't know why they don't have it here, but I think the retail sales report is going to be released afterwards. So then we have inflation data on Thursday. So all of that is going to be important. So Boris, I know they're eager to put in the levels. Okay. We've got quite a bit of people who just joined in. So I think you have a minute to show them how to buy the account again so that they can set it up.
Okay, so everybody, let me just show you how to buy the account again. Then we're going to go through the levels. Again, as I already bought my accounts. So, oh wait, hold on. We got to go into my, hang on, remove at the stage. Okay, so we're buying trade evades, guys, just to make sure, because I think wealth charts will work fine. But we're gonna do wealth charts after the event. As I said, what we're gonna do is just click the top button. Make sure you type in the word BK save. This gives you gives you the discount. Don't click this button. Click this one. I request access, and press the PC. It goes to $19. Big discount. Just put your credit card number, and you're good to go. I've already bought the accounts, so let me show you where they're at. I bought 194 through 197. These are 4 accounts. I have two accounts that we've been trading normally. These we're going to trade for a new straddle, 194 to 197. So let's
make sure you use the code BK save to save 90%.
Correct. Just like I showed you in that picture, BK save. Right. I actually put the link. Let me put the link in again. Well, I'm going to pin it. Okay. K is going to pin the link. Just click that link. Use the word BK save. You're guaranteed to get the biggest discount. So now I'm in trading trade of 8. I'm going to show you how to make sure that you have the highest chance of success here in terms of do one trade target. So you go in here on the bottom. Oh, hang on a second. K is, let me just get rid of this for a second, guys. Sorry. So you guys can see it on the bottom here. So you click over here into the wheel. And what you want to do is you want to add, I already added the ATM name. I'll call it 77 no stop. That's 77 ticks without a stop on gold. So if you go 77, right, you want to make sure there's no stop loss over here. Save that. And when you go 77 no stop, right, let me just make sure that it's correct. Oh, why is it stop loss? It's putting an automatic stop. So let's make sure we get rid of this. You know what? Then just, you know what? Let's make the stop like 400. We'll just make a crazy stop like that. So it doesn't matter. This is well outside of our things. And so let's just make sure that, because I want to make sure that you're not getting stopped out unnecessarily. I guess Trade of 8 forces you to put a stop. I guess you can put it just to take profit only. Sorry, you can do take profit only 77. Take profit only 77 will make it super, super simple. Take profit only 77, save that. That's the gold setting. Now we're going to go to the Nasdaq setting. And remember, Nasdaq is NQH6. We're trading March. NQH6, gold is G6. This is the big contracts, 4 size. That's the size we're going to use because that's the optimal size between giving us room and getting us to hit the target. We're going to use 4 size GCG6, NQH6, 4 size, okay? 4 size on this. And let's go.
4 units.
4 units, correct. 4 lots.
Typing this in. 4 lots.
4 lots. So we're going to go in here. And now again, I'm going to make it take profit only. 156 ticks. 156 ticks is 39 points on Nasdaq. That takes us over the $3,000 level, including commissions. Okay, that always works. We did, I think, with 155 the other day, but it's fine. It's, you know, this is a safe level in a sense that if we hit that level, we're guaranteed to get funded. We're going to hit save, right? And now just make sure you obviously choose that 156 no stop and then 77 no stop. Then in about 4 or 5 minutes, basically 30 seconds before the event, we're going to do a buy market, change the account, sell market. Then we're going to do change the account, buy market, change the account, sell market. So there'll be 4 accounts, 2 buys, 2 sells, one in gold, 1 in Nasdaq on both sides, and then let the event hopefully take us to profit.
Can you I only put in the Nasdaq. Can you tell us what the ticks for profit in gold is again?
Gold is 77 ticks.
All right, 70.
Again, 4 lot size. This is sized for a 4 unit, 4 lot position, so that, you know, if we get back and forth movement, we can survive a minimum amount of drawdown without getting knocked out. Yeah, 77 tick slots on G6 and 156 on NQH. We have a little bit of time. Don't rush these orders now, because you don't want. Sometimes there are fake spikes in front of the event. It's 8:25, 35. There are fake spikes in front of the event sometimes. And I mean, sometimes they work in your favor. You know, you might just get funded beforehand, but you don't want. The whole point is to do this properly. Whether it works or not, you want to follow the process, just like with trades, in terms of, you know, making it really replicable. So when it gets to around 8:29, we'll begin to initiate. It takes about 10 seconds to place all the orders. We give ourselves a minute. You know, make sure that everything is preset. Make sure that you have all of your take profits already set up in your station. So 77 on gold, 156 no stop on this. And of course, the reason we're not using a stop is because it's do or die. We're either going to hit target or the account gets blown. That's the whole point. That's why it's great to do it, because they're cheap in terms of.
So just to clarify, These are your presets for your targets.
Yes.
They don't have, you're doing market orders at the 30 seconds before the number.
Exactly. We're going to just buy market, sell market, about 30 seconds.
So what Boris does is they preset the parameters so that it's basically one click when you're ready to trade. Right?
Exactly. No, we're using GC, TNT Gold, and we're using the big contract because we that's in order to make $3,000 in one single trade, you have to use the large ticks. Again, this is a high risk, high reward strategy. Fully expect to get blown out. There's absolutely no guarantee. We could go, it could move up and down and just wipe us out completely. But because the accounts are so cheap, it gives us a really easy, quick way to get funded if it works. So we try it every time we have large news events and a big discount. This only works with Apex because they give us such enormous discounts that we can afford to burn them if it doesn't work. But it's been very successful in the past. Yeah.
I've been speaking to all of the $1 million traders with prop firms, and honestly, they look at these accounts as the cost of doing business. They plan to blow out a bunch of these accounts, and Zamco, who's got $1 million payout, has made it very clear that there's a very different strategy that you trade to get funded versus getting payout.
We talk about that all the time. Yes, exactly.
And that is today is the funded strategy because that's what you need to do in order to get a payout.
Right. I make the analogy that we trade our evaluation accounts like Mario Andretti drives a race car, and then we trade our funded accounts the way a grandmother drives her car in Pasadena. In other words, we trade our accounts very, very safe on the funded side, very aggressive on the eval side, because that's the whole point. You got to understand the game. This is just to get ourselves squared away. So we're getting close. It's 9:28 to 28:55. Not a bad time to kind of initiate. So watch me. I'm start with 94. I go to 97. So I'm going to do 94 with gold. First, I'm going to buy gold. Then I'm going to go to 95, and I'm going to sell gold. Now I'm going to go to 96 and buy
there
Nasdaq.
There are no stops, SJ. The stop
and 97, sell Nasdaq. All right.
There's no stops, right?
No stops. And now we're just floating, all the accounts. We got about a minute to go. I don't even like to look at this stuff, when we go here, but we'll see. We might as well I guess this is kind of cool, you guys. You can look at the P&Ls on these things as they rotate. Looks like I don't even know which ones. I think the buys are leading. It's hard to say. You guys want to look at the charts? Let's look at the charts. We got 53 seconds, 54 seconds.
No headlines yet.
8:30. Boom! Drop on the Nasdaq. Looks like we got filled on Nasdaq.
Yep. Look at Nasdaq number. I would buy euros, but let Boris do his thing.
Okay, I'm looking at which one, 94. So 94 is not quite making my target. I'm just gonna exit out. Why can't I exit out? I'm on the wrong one. Exit out. Okay, so I got done on Nasdaq. I funded Nasdaq. You can see over here the 55,000 Nasdaq got funded right away. Gold did not quite extend to my target. It's at 51,400. It's halfway to my target. And what I did is I made a basic decision that let me just take half my profit because we can work with the rest. What's left as you look at the kind of remnants of this trade, what's left is the following thing. One account guaranteed funded big, by the way, it funded at 55,000, so well over 3,000, right? Another account halfway to funded, 2 accounts blown, and then two of these other accounts are in the process of getting funded. So the cool thing now is we can now reduce our size to a more moderate size and try to work this gold account towards funding. Because remember, we're already 50% towards funding in just one trade, 51,465, right? So we only need $1,500. We can trade that maybe in $200 increments, $500 trade increments. We'll see how the news is, how things shake out, what's shaping up. We got the whole afternoon or like the whole morning in front of us to kind of make these trades work for us. But at very minimum, we got ourselves funded on one account, which is great. Just think about that. This means this account only costs us $85 all in. That means $19 to buy and then activate it, $85. Now we own it for the next 10 years if we trade it carefully, which is very, very productive. And now we have possibility to fund three more accounts. This account, this account, this account. Let me put my magnifying glass on. You can see it. These two accounts were the ones that we just been trading regularly, just sort of normally. And this is an account that just made me $1,500 in one trade. This is the account that got funded, right? So we're in good shape. I wish the gold would have worked, but the gold just did not extend as much. And
definitely moving now. I mean, this is the market's interpreting this to be dollar negative, to be positive for gold.
Yeah, it's obviously, it sounds like it's I didn't even know what numbers is, but it sounds dovish in the sense that the market looks like.
I can explain it. I mean, basically, the non-farm payrolls number wasn't terrible. It was 64,000, which is slightly better than the previous month, or slightly better than forecast. But average hourly earnings was really weak, 0.1%, which means that people are making less. And then, the retail sales number, which we didn't care too much about, came in 0. But the unemployment rate, which also jumped it went from 4.4 to 4.6. Is expected to go to 4.4.
That's horrible. That is horrible. See, the reason why that's horrible is because the Fed has what's called a dual mandate. Its job is to maintain full employment and price stability. Now, for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been working on price stability because employment has been very steady. But this is, I think it's almost 1% higher off its lows, right? I think the unemployment rate was like 3.6 at its lowest. It's a very, very big jump.
At its lows, the unemployment rate was even 3.5. You're right. I mean, that was in 2022. The unemployment rate. I mean, before that, sometimes it was lower, but yeah, you're right. It's like a full percent. So while, for those of you that don't know, the unemployment rate and the non-farm payrolls report are actually two totally different reports. They calculate it differently, they survey it differently. And so one of them is telling us that the labor market isn't doing good. One of them says that it's not so bad, which is the NFP. And because we have the unemployment rate, we have average hourly earnings weakening, I think people are starting to see past what the actual NFP number may be showing, because probably many of them, the man on the street, feel like the labor market wasn't bad. So yes, average hourly earnings was bad, and the unemployment rate was bad. And I talked about buying Eurodollar if the number's bad. That did move the way it's supposed to move. Gold is rallying, which moved the way it's supposed to move. And then stocks are tricky. It's stocks is the tricky part. And that's why sometimes when it's a really good number, you could trade stocks, but stocks are tricky because, and it is rallying a little bit now, but a bad number is not necessarily good for the stock market. But I think that right now we're seeing the Nasdaq rebound.
Well, the stocks and gold are trading on monetary policy. And the assumption here is that in other words, everybody was sort of under conviction that this was a hawkish cut, that one and done, but the weakness in the numbers may prod the Fed to cut another 25 basis points. Of course, that's always bullish stocks, because stocks are competing against bonds on yield. The lower the yield, the higher the price earnings ratio can go, and that creates positive flow for stocks. On gold, the lower the yield, the less gold has to compete against bonds. Also, and I think this is really serious. The more macro analysis I read all across the web, the more people are coming to the consensus that inflation is really sticky. That we haven't. The war has not been won. We've won the battle, but the war has not been won. And if you go historically, once inflation starts, it really isn't a function of supply and demand. It becomes a matter of psychology. And I think you would all agree that because prices have been up for such a long time, businesses feel entitled or almost compelled to raise prices continuously because they're afraid that if they don't, they're going to lose purchasing power, right? And I think that vicious cycle of everybody continuously raising prices creates, I mean, all the, what is it, like the Happy Meal costs like $1,000 now? I mean, it's, I'm kidding, but you get the idea. Like it tastes like $50 to feed a family of four in a fast food restaurant. It's just absurd numbers. And people are feeling that. And the point is that doesn't stop. It doesn't reverse right away. It takes a really, really long time to reverse those inflation expectations. So you get high inflation expectations with a relatively low interest rate environment, obviously very positive for gold. Kay, you might find this really interesting. So this is the 2,557th version of my indicator. And what you're seeing right now in this blue box, this is the London session high. This is London session box. So in about an hour, the New York session is going to open up. So this indicator tells you, paints the highs and the lows of the London session, the highs and the lows of the Asia session, which is really, really cool, right? This is London session.
Yeah, that's actually really, really cool.
Right, Asia session.
I think some people are saying that the vertical is showing up. I'm trying to kill the vertical because they're watching on YouTube and they're seeing that. Well, how are you streaming the vertical?
I'm the same way as always. I don't know.
Vertical should only be used for Instagram.
Oh, you know what? Maybe can you kill it on the?
Kill the vertical.
I didn't realize. I think maybe that's the problem. I was streaming vertical on YouTube.
No. You want to stream vertical on Instagram.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Anyway, who got funded? DRD got funded for 3 accounts. How many of you got funded?
Yeah, let's find out who got funded, because that was job number 1 for us today. Okay. Indicator average hourly earnings was bad. Got one. TNT got it. TNT, you did the right size. TNT was like, should I do the micros? I'm like, no, do the minis. You got that one right. Wally got funded. Good job, Wally. Wally, I think, how many accounts do you have now? I think Wally must have, like, I don't know. I know DRD has like 15 to 20 accounts. Wow. Valodi got 300,000 Apex account funded. Amazing. That's huge. What, Valodi, tell us size that you used to fund the 300,000. Did you use like 10 units, 10 lots? Ben got funded. Good job, Ben. Ben, what account number funded is that for you now? Yes. Now, guys, I told you that I walked you ahead of time that I wanted to do this on TradeAvate, because I told you that Wealth Charts doesn't allow like this straddles on their platform. So you used 35 NQs. Wow, you went balls to the wall, my friend. Very nice. Valodi went 35 NQs, got funded on $350,000. Now that's amazing. Now you have $350,000 of capital at your disposure, or at your ability to be able to trade. Obviously, we're going to trade that 300,000. Sorry, 300,000. That's really, really amazing. So yeah, for those of you guys who did Wealth Charts, you notice I did not do Wealth Charts. I told you guys that Wealth Charts may blow you out. So this is why why do I only use 4 lots? Because, as I said, that's generally the best ratio between giving yourself breathing room. Because remember, sometimes it's going to slip against you. As a matter of fact, if you look at a Nasdaq, we got funded on the downtick when the actual move was the uptick, right? So you got to give yourself enough room for like contra moves on the move. And 4 was enough to get funded. It wasn't enough on gold, but we're gonna work the gold product, and we're gonna see if we can get that funded as the day goes by. No complaints when you can get one or two of these things done. It's always a high risk strategy, so I'm always happy to get funded. But I'm glad. So Ben, tell me how many you got. You have 7. Wow, Ben has 7 funded on Wealth Charts and 2 previously on Rhythmic Apex. Okay, Ben, you're probably the only human being that trades Rhythmic, but that's great. I'm kidding you. That's great. So you're almost at 9. Remember, we can have 20. So Kathy was talking about copy trading, right? Which is really, really sort of like the upper echelon level of trading. For us, what I've been trying to do with you guys is to do one account at a time, to just create really, really good behavior, best behavior practices in terms of being able to trade one account properly. And then when you can master that, and you can trade, 2 accounts on Trade Copier, and you can trade this. But of course, it's going to be really interesting to speak to Candy, because she breaks all those rules. She just she clearly has incredible confidence and ability in her strategy. And
well, she's not the only one. All of them copy trade multiple. Tyler D, who's got 500,000 in payouts, Zamco, who's got $1 million in payouts. Every single one of them copy trades. That's the only way, because if you think about it, that way you can stay true to your small profit, which may be, $1,500 a day, $1,000 a day, $500 a day. You can kind of stay true to your absolute, quote unquote, modest profit that the market gives you, and then have that amplified through copy trading.
Right, exactly. Yes, I'm going to trade after the New York Open. Absolutely. Right now, it's we're just basically waiting until the New York Open, anyways, because it's kind of quiet.
Yeah, I think we hit a fresh record high in the Dow off of the back of this.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did 48,917. The previous high was 48,917. I mean, it's pretty much to the T. I think we should. Like, it went to the same point as the record high in the YM futures. But obviously the market's not open yet, so can't tout that's a record high. But I think we're pretty much going to be there. But great job, guys. I mean, SS 50,000. Today's the last day of the Apex offer, right, Boris? Do you want to put up everything so everyone can see?
The Apex offer this is a really, really great offer. It's 90% off every eval, anything from 25,000 to a 300,000 or above account. Speaking of which, by the way, a couple of things we're going to do now. We're going to buy a couple of 25,000 wealth charts. I'm going to buy 25,000 wealth charts. The reason we're going to do that is because it's a much shorter distance to target. It's only $1,500 instead of $3,000, and we're going to see if we can get aggressive with high quality, high precision scalp entries today to see if we can at least get close. Maybe even try to get funded off the 25,000 as well. Because remember, 25,000 and 50,000 is my sweet spot. 50,000 is really the sweet spot that everybody who copy trades, that's what they like to trade, the 50,000 account. But the 25,000 is also really good. And so I'm going to buy a couple of more, accounts right now, and we'll see if we can trade that as well for target in terms of goal today. So go ahead, take advantage of this right now. By the way, look at the payouts. 626 million already. I think they might by like Q1, maybe by the first half of next year, they could be at $1 billion in payouts.
And as I said, Candy, who I was talking to right before our stream, who got the $1 million payout in October, I asked her, did they give you a hassle or they just gave it to you? And she said, they gave me a choice, either take it as a withdrawal or, transfer it into a live account. She said, I wanted the money. And so I wanted the real money in my hands, which I think is absolutely the right decision. But that was pretty much the only question that they asked her. I'm sure they did their internal review and whatever it is that they did, but they did not give her a hassle to withdraw it, which I think, is a testament, regardless of what everyone says, that people are getting the payouts and the money. And even when it's a big number, like Candy got 1.17 million in October, they didn't give her a hassle to get that money.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really a lot of fun, and it's very, very productive for all of us. Notice what's happening. We're coming off the highs on off this is so. I think Kathy's. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Nothing can be predictable, but maybe Kathy's read that this could be kind of a negative unwind. In other words, first you have a knee-jerk positive reaction on monetary policy easing, then kind of this cold realization, oh man, the economy is slowing, spend is slowing. Tomorrow's going to be the the real retail sales, Kay? You said they were the ones for
I believe so.
November?
The Forex Factory took it off the calendar, but I had checked it
I
a
wonder,
few times.
I wonder if trading economics. Let's see what trading economics has.
Honestly, guys, I feel like Grok is the best for that type of information. I've been using
Which
a lot
one?
for real time. Grok.
Oh, Grok. Yeah, Grok is actually really amazing for all this stuff. So is this today? This is today. Real control.
So we're looking at tomorrow.
Tomorrow they don't have anything listed.
Oh, so
yeah, they have control.
No. Grok said, because Grok originally had it as tomorrow, but it now says that it's scheduled for release January 15, 2026. So it will not be released tomorrow. That's probably why Forex Factory took it off their calendar.
Right. See, this is Grok. When will November retail sales be released? Searching the web. Due to recent blah 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 blah. And the full calendar has been no specific date for November report has been announced yet on their site. So it doesn't say that. It doesn't even say any specific days, but middle of.
Really? Because like
given the delays, it will likely to be in mid to late January 2026. That's what it says.
What is your search? I can't see, but mine says.
When will November retail sales be released? I'm asking Grok. What did yours say?
Oh, this is not good. I asked the exact same question, and I'll show you mine.
Okay.
Here. I'm going to show you mine. Hold on. I exact same question. When is retail sales US November released? And it says scheduled for release on January 15, 2026.
Well, that's not complete. It's close to what it's saying. It says mid to late January.
But I'm just saying it gave a completely different answer, even though our question is pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, what it basically shows is there isn't a fixed date. It's probably like
I don't know. This was pretty definitive. Let's see.
I mean, you want to ask Claude?
No. Okay. What is the source for the January 15 date? Let's see this link. We just click on the source to see if it's the Census Bureau. AI is not good. Yeah, right? It's not great.
AI is fine. You know, it's a lot better than human beings are, but it's not perfect, obviously.
Anyway.
Anyways, the final point is it's not going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
But the next big thing is going to be CPI. So like, can we get the 1-2 double hammer of like rising unemployment rate and rising inflation? That's just going to be, I think, brutal for the market. I think that's gonna like, the market. I remember I said, do we go 25,000? Do we go 26,000? We went to 25,800, and then I said I feel like we're going to go to 25,000. It feels to me still like we are going to test the 25,000 level in Nasdaq. So one of the cool things with the new boxes that we have is it's going to be very visible for us, right? This is the London high, 2385, London low 25,120. As I said, one of the great things about trading dots with these boxes is when it gets to the highs to the lows, those are very, very strong continuation signals. So we'll be able to trade them as they go by. But Kay may be right that this is a knee-jerk reaction to the upside and an unwind as market kind of gets a hangover, sort of a realization that things are not nearly as good as kind of the bloom is coming off the rose for the economy. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's still a pretty muddy picture, but I think the preponderance of evidence, you would agree with me on the macro side, you're doing your little spreadsheets, is tilting red rather than green at this point, right?
Yeah, there's no question about that. But we do have to respect the price action, and stock futures are still chugging along right now. They haven't necessarily turned red at all. Let me show you on our BK trend meters. We're still got some short-term green on MNQ. ES, getting a little bit of a pullback. Haven't quite turned very negative yet. The dollar is rebounding. That's why when it comes to this data for us as BK traders, we're going to be trading tonight, the Asia session, when the dust settles, especially since we don't have any clear direction. Although I could say, you could wait, and we did this with FOMC. You could isolate, the highs and lows of the news candle. I can't seem to get my line, but you can isolate the highs and lows of the news candle, the high here, the low here, and just wait for one of them to break. And your dollar actually broke to the downside. So I think your dollar could slip down a little bit, but it doesn't really have the fundamental factor. ECB is not supposed to do anything. The data hasn't been bad. But it does look like you see a little bit more of a dollar continuation in some of these pairs. I don't think we have any zip changes. So zip, nothing really here. Not too much going on. When can I expect Apex to show the past?
Yeah, this is a very important question. I want to answer that very, very carefully. First order of business, do not touch the account that you just got funded on. Do not trade it. Do not touch it. As a matter of fact, make sure you don't make any trades on it, because it is still live all the way until the New York close today. You could lose your funding if you do any trades in that account and it goes against you. So really important. Stop trading that account. Move on to your other accounts. Trade those. That's number one. Number two, you will get a notification after the New York close, after 1600 hours New York. Apex will send you an email saying, congratulations, you passed. Now go sign up for your permanent account. So it takes that cycle. The end of trading in New York is when Apex will notify you. So be patient, relax, you're good to go. Just don't touch the account. Don't screw around with it, because you actually could lose it. It's considered to be a live account. Oh, we got a sell trade in Nasdaq. Let me trade this one. So let's see if we can get this done. I can't even show it to you yet. But anyways, you see we have a A2 sell trade over here, guys. So I'm just kind of trading it. Let me show you. I'm gonna log in, see if I can get the account going here. Which account is this? 94. Okay. So this is. Oh, what happened here? Wait, hold on. I got to put on my glasses, guys. Hang on. I got to organize myself here. Where am I in? 94. Why is it not showing? NQH. Oh, I know why. Because I'm on the micros. This one. Okay. So I'm trading the large one. This is the one that we got halfway funded. So I'm trading it with sort of one lot size. It's a $100 target, $300. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, I realized why I didn't get this. My stops and targets on this are all screwed up. Let me actually get out of this thing. Hang on. Let me get out of this because I was still using the old settings, because we were still in the straddle settings. Now I'm going to go back to regular settings on all of this. In gold, I want to do 1030.
I'm going to pop off. I got a meeting to run to, but enjoy the live trading, Boris. Great job, Boris, getting the accounts funded. And he's going to roll into more trading. But once again, last day of the Apex 90% off sale. I mean, this is the end of the year. I don't think they're going to do it again. So make sure you take advantage of this offer. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do it right now. We're going to buy a couple of Wealth Charts accounts too. We're going to trade those as well. And you need to please use our code BKSAVE to get the best discount at any point in time. Right. Exactly. So thank you, Kay. That was really, really great. Thanks, Kay. We'll see you later. Okay. Let me see if there's any other questions here.
Apex all in means purchasing the evaluation account, and then purchasing, once you pass the evaluation, you have to pay money to get a full funded account. So that all-in fee right now is incredibly cheap. It's only $85. Usually it's close to maybe $150 to buy eval, and then the second account that is your fully funded account. So it's like literally half price. Okay. Okay. All right. So I've answered all the key questions. Oh, we got gold. Let's just trade gold. Hang on a second. Shoot, I want to set myself up too. Right. All right. I'm trading gold here. Let me show you in this account. We're going to switch to this account. I can only show you in this particular screen, because the way Trade of A trades, you can only show one tab to be live and active. So I'm going to be switching around a little bit of tabs, but we can watch both accounts here on NAS and see if Nasdaq has any. Look, I'll switch around these accounts, and this will be the tab where the active trades are. So right now, just to kind of bring you up to date what we're doing. There is one account that got funded. The other account is at plus $1,500 to the good. And I'm trying to just run it using our scalping strategy to get it close to 52, close to maybe 53, and then we'll see if we're going to go for like a one kill shot trade, maybe 4 or 5 contracts for 5 points. That's $500, and just try to see if we can get it funded in a kill shot manner. But we got to get close to the target to kind of hit the kill shot trade. So right now I'm just trading small sizes, or relatively small sizes, on this to try to get ourselves organized. There is so I'm long this Nasdaq trade over here, looking for 42.5 as my target on gold, and I have a A2 set up in Nasdaq right now, setting up, which I'm going to take right now in the same account. So I mean, again, I'm trading this account very aggressively because I don't care. We're either going to fund this account, or we're going to kill it, because this is the account that we were already planned for obsolescence today. We're trying to get this second account get funded, but I'm trying to do it in a more responsible manner, where if I get a couple of stop outs, it's not going to kill me. I'm still alive on the account. So I took this is Nasdaq trade off this A2, trying to see if we can get the 5-point scalp over here. Post non-farm payrolls, we always get very, very choppy price action. And let's see where we're at on gold here. Gold is actually moving our way, so gold might hit our target soon. I'm almost there. I'm almost there on gold. Gold gets done. Gold gets done on the upside over here, but the Nasdaq is going to stop me out. It's retracing, which is why you see me trading, just one mini, just sort of a casual small move, because I need to get a vibe as to what's going on. Gold clearly is the strong trade right now. So we may just focus our attention on gold as the primary instrument and just see if we can trade that to the upside. We'll see. We made this trade. We'll try to see if we can, make the other trade. Nasdaq doesn't know what it wants to do with itself. It's very choppy. Okay, gold is giving us another A2 signal. So I may go, if this holds, I may go into gold as well. We'll see. So far, nothing. So I'm holding the Nasdaq short right now. The gold already got done. That's where we stand. And gold got, and Nasdaq got done too. So good. So both of these got done. We are at 51,500, right? I'm still don't have any really strong vibe on this thing, so I'm not gonna increase my size. I'm gonna just trade one mini. So it's $100. It's $100 forward, $300 behind. See if we can get close to maybe 52,000 in the next couple of trades, and then see if we want to, once the market opens up, if we want to take some big hits like five units, 5 large. That'll be a $500 trade. Just try to see if we can get ourselves close to the 5,200 level on the account. I'm trading this 94 account right now as my prime. This is the account that didn't quite make it to funding. We already got one account to funding, and I'm just going to try and see if I can nurse the second account to funding. Okay. Hang on just 1 second, guys. Hang on. All right, and I'm gonna leave you guys for about 5 minutes. In about a minute and a half. Okay, hang on. Okay. Because I gotta just let the cleaning lady in. So I'm gonna leave you guys for a little bit. It's a little bit of a crazy day in my house. For about 5 minutes. You guys watch the charts, trade them yourself. Right now we got the Nasdaq's done, the short done, the long done. I'm gonna try and see if I could making fresh highs in gold towards the 50 level. Really tempting to take this trade. If this holds as an A2 signal, I'm going to take the gold trade too. But I'm going to give myself. Ooh, it's really moving through the 49s. Look at that, really chopping around. I'm going to stay pretty patient with this thing. I'm going to wait to make sure that the candle closes before we pull the trigger. Does it stay? 8-9 seconds. Kind of coming back down. Is it going to come? Is it going to hold? All right. I'm long gold. I'm going to leave you with that gold trade. We'll see if it works or not. This is my gold trade. You guys can watch it. I'll leave you guys a B, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. How's everybody doing? So it looks like we hit the gold trade, right? Like I said, we hit the highs, which is nice. I don't know if you guys took that. Let's take a look at what Nasdaq is doing. Okay, cool. So Nas is, you know, yeah, let's do it this way. Nas is just kind of waffling around the 200 SMA, midpoint of the range. Gold is clearly extending higher. This seems to be the bullish trade. If we can take out the 50s, it's probably gonna, you know, run higher. So let's watch this on the highs. Let this trade run a good time to feed the dogs. Yeah, I think, you know, for right now, so I recommend either Trade of 8 or well charts, simply because the indicator only works on either Trade of 8 or well charts. So generally, I like well charts very much. And by the way, we also have the well charts, you know, trades over here. These are my funded accounts. We'll trade a little bit of my funded accounts as well. But right now, I want to trade the eval accounts to make sure that we at least to get one more eval account into the game. So we'll leave the funded accounts on the back burner for now. But the indicator really only works for well charts and trading views. So those are the only two platforms that I like. I mean, it's obvious that gold is the strongest one right now. But as always, it can totally change. You know, like just to show you, you guys want to see. Let me just show you. Like if we go full chart, I want to show you this something. This is very cool. This is a really cool exercise to do. So this is gold, right? This is gold with the new trade sessions, which are available on the latest version of the indicator. I just want to show you like how things change all the time in the markets, and why scalping is just such an interesting concept. All right, okay, hang on, get over here, replay. What is this? Why can't I? What's going on over here? Select bar. Why is this not working? What's going on here? And advanced analysis, launch bar replay. What is going on here? Why can't I do launch? Let me see this. What the hell's going on? Start new. Select bar. Okay. Let's do it this way. This is just to show you how things go from top to bottom, and why you need to be, totally non-committal to one side or the other side. So I'm going to play the replay for you guys. This is gold last night, and you see it looks like it's, it made highs. You're like, oh, it looks super bullish in Asia. This is the Asia session trade, right? And now it starts to break all the way down. And it starts to sell off, and it started to hit lows, and you're like, oh, gold is really dumping down, right? And it hits all the way lows. Asia session trade, and then it's just trading its way to the downside, making fresh lows. Finally bounces back up, and now you're like, oh, it looks pretty negative, but now it crosses over to the positive zone, and now London starts, right? And London again tries to test the Asia session lows, doesn't come near it, right? Kind of test the lows, and then we start over here. No, not over here, but just a little bit later. Basically nothing is going on. It's just, trading water. right? Still touching the lows ahead of non-farm payrolls, very, very flat action. And now we start making highs. And you start buying those highs, and it's just completely different story. You see how buying those highs takes you higher and higher and higher until we get to the event, and now the event is still at the highs. And so it's kind of just shows you that even during the day, there is no single theme. There is only what's happening now, right? And just as this looks super bullish right now, 2 or 3 hours from now, we could be touching the lows. Just my point being is that don't become convinced that what's happening now is what's going to be happening in the future. But what you do know is that once it starts making fresh highs and making fresh lows, that's a very, very positive signal with our dots indicator in terms of momentum. And that's why I thought adding the session high, session lows boxes really makes a huge difference. Hopefully you guys like that. Let me know if you like the new version. Well, that's great, Brooklyn. I'm glad you're using tick cues. Yeah, there's a lot of people are using additional tools in addition to the dots to really to kind of optimize their trading, which is great. We are 15 minutes to the open, so no really new trades in Nasdaq. We'll see how it opens up. Let's see what everybody says about the data today. So this is interesting. 24% of the unemployment had been hunting for a job for at least 6 months, up from 23 in September. In November, the figure was 23.1. So small, but significant decline in the so Fed funds rates futures went to 31% versus 22. It's still 70% against, so not much. Yeah, 4-year high on the unemployment rate. That's really the takeaway here. So really worth understanding. I'm just looking at the headlines here and everything. On the other hand, I got to say that, federal government employment has declined. On one hand, it's bad because federal government employment is very, very steady. It's kind of like, really very, very comfortable jobs. But on the other hand, they're incredibly unproductive, right? Versus private sector job hiring, which is much more productive. So it's been interesting to see if this shift into private employment is going to create better productivity. But productivity alone is not going to be the key to near-term success. And I think that might be a big problem for the market. We'll see. Oh, no signal on this, but now we did break the 50 level. One of the strategies I haven't done today because I'm sort of sticking to my old-fashioned strategy. Remember I said to you yesterday, if we go to one dot signal and just kind of plow into the trade on a positive side, in other words, add here, add here, add here, that's a really interesting strategy to to try to capitalize on a big trend move in one direction. So I haven't done that. It's a little bit too late to do it because now we're adding all the way at the end of the trend, which is kind of stupid. But that's a thing that you guys could do, and it's something we could do in the future. The beautiful thing about the indicator now is it's so flexible in so many different ways for us to trade with that that it makes it so much easier for us to trade. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on here. Yeah, everybody likes the high session lows. That's great. That's awesome. 10 minutes to the open. Not much going on over here. I'm gonna probably take. This is not a conventional trade, but it's a one trade. I mean, I'm not gonna add to this position, but I'm gonna take. If you look at the on the one basis, I'm gonna take this trade to the upside. I think it's we broke the 50. We're probably gonna go to 60. So I'm gonna take this trade. If this still holds as an A1 trade, I'm gonna take it. Yeah. And we're done. And we're done. So I'm still being very, very cautious, but I'm getting close to the $52,000 mark, which is fine. Like maybe we'll just scalp our way to to target before we can fix on a kill shot trade. Remember, we clearly see from the charts that gold is the trade to make, so we can just focus on gold for the time being. But the cool thing about the indicator and everything else is you can really see how the combination of momentum, position sessioning, and range expansion, all of that, really helping us make the trades, right? Just hit as many trades as possible. I wish I had a chance to have traded this with you like this, but another day. The beautiful thing is the indicator gives us so many different strategy ideas, and we can learn from it every single day as a trading mechanism. Guys, I'm getting really sick. You can hear me already, sound really stuffy. So forgive me. But A1 is just one dot. A2 is two dots consecutively. A3 is three dots consecutively. Okay? So Brooklyn, talk to us a little bit about this. This is Brooklyn trades with positive risk reward strategy. Give me the 411 on your trading. Like he's trading 20 ticks and 10 ticks. Wait, am I right? Did I write that? Did I read that right? 10 ticks on NQ is 2.5 points of NQ. You're giving yourself zero chance for slippage. What's your what do you do? Are you 50% accurate in those trades? Just give us what kind of trades you take. Is it A2 trades? Is there some other confirmation you're looking at? And what's your accuracy rate? Because this is fascinating. Brooklyn has taken my strategy, flipped it completely upside down into a positive risk reward strategy. He's using tick Q, which is an indicator. By the way, is it a free indicator? Is it possible to get that on TradingView? Are you using it a different platform? Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing. And then tell us, are you waiting for the close of the candle? When are you entering? All of these things we want to know. So he says he takes the A trades. Now, which one? A1, A2, A3 trades? What trades are you taking? All right, we're through the 460 on gold. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a 10th signal on this trade. I'm really loath to take this trade, but you know what? You got to trust the momentum. Let's see if this will still do me right. Nope, it fails anyway. So I'm gonna let it go. I'm not taking this trade. Oh, using range zone 2. Yeah, dude, we're at range zone 4. So using A2 trades. Oh, look at this. I didn't take the trade, and it would have worked. I should have taken the trade. I whipped out. Yes, everybody delete the old one, add the new one. It has all the new functionality. We're range zone 4 for everybody who's has the indicator. Everybody who wants the indicator, you need to join my coaching, which is going to be Thursday night. Here's the link. Wait, hold on. Here's the link to my coaching if you guys want that. Ah, man. Look at me. I'm wimping out, and gold is just roaring, right? Roaring. You got to trust this move. It doesn't matter that it was 10 in a row. Should have traded this until it stopped. Meantime, look at Nasdaq. It just died on the vine. Wow. So he's doing this with the version 2.0. Imagine how much better you'll do with the 4.0 on this thing. And what's your hit rate on that 1 to 2 risk reward ratio? Like, are you 50% accurate on those trades? Tell us. He says he created a special tick indicator with ChatGPT, but a free one is available on TradingView. Okay, sounds cool. Sounds cool. I don't know, SSX. I don't make specific individual questions. Just trade your own. I don't trade those accounts. So I don't really know. I'm only trading 50. That's why I'm ignoring your question, because I don't really have an answer to you. Okay. Well, that's a very tight auto break even, 2.5 points. I'm just fascinated. It'll be interesting to see how that progress goes. Would love to see your journal later on. A1 is only 1 dot, right? And so I'm only using that. This is a great example of the flexibility of the indicator right now. No, Ufunkel, that's the old version, and that's not available. It doesn't do anything that this one does. This is the one you want to use. This is the one we use right now. That one is much more for positional trading, and you're free to use it, but that's not the one we use in live trading. Live trading, we use dots only, and that's only available for people who are in coaching. So if you upgrade to coaching, you get the access to this indicator. Ben is giving you advice, SSX. Okay, he's saying that if you go real big in 250, you're trying to pass the shot. Better take it in small chunks. I don't recommend big accounts. No, that's why I'm always on the 25 or a 50, because the risk reward on the big accounts is much worse than it is on the small accounts. All right, we're 26. This is so shit. So all right, I'm short this. Let me see if this is gonna work. Probably not, because I'm late. Fuck. All right, let's give it a shot. Usually not something I want to do, but I don't care about. This is an account where I am very aggressive on. So I'm just trying to see if I could get. I missed the trade here. Let's see if I can get this account done. It's 4 or 5 minutes before the open. Never really trade this, but I'm kind of I'm taking one shot on this because I'm just trying to get the account close to target. Let me see. All right, I'm going to take this exit. Great. Okay. So I took the Nasdaq trade A1 on this. This is actually, sorry, A2 on this. On this particular trade, I took the A2. I'm trading Nasdaq with A2s, but it's 927. Usually I never take this, but I took the trade right now simply because I'm just trying to get this account to 52,000 by New York Open, and then we'll see if we want to kind of go really large and do a kill shot trade, or and that's going to be like one of those trades where we either win or we blow up the account. So because again, the function here is to fund this account today so that we can get $85,000 on there. Yeah, Claudio, there's a typo in the PDF that I have to fix, so I'm going to try and work on that and try to fix it for you. Okay, so I'll have the PDF within a day or two. Okay, if you want sort of like the not perfect version, the link is here. You can download the dots rules over here. The link is here. You can download it here. Okay. Now let's go back to GCs. All right. So the gold is finally coming off the highs. Finally coming off the highs. Right. Remember what I said to you yesterday? It's actually been a really, really good piece of advice. What I said to you, that a stop is actually really valuable information. I mean, for most people, a stop is just anger and frustration. But in our model, when our model gets stopped out, it's actually incredibly valuable information. Because especially on the A2 model that I trade all the time, which is the 2 dots in a row. Why it's so special is if the model fails, right? Oh, look at this. And now we're starting New York. Look how cool this is. I really love this new indicator. Now, New York session is starting. The New York box is starting to build. You see it starting to build. It says New York box over here. And it's starting to build that. Now, the only thing is, I don't know why the fuck it works on gold and does not work on Nasdaq in terms of session, and I have to modify on Nasdaq. So let me see if I can just modify this on Nasdaq, because it's just so annoying. Is it maybe Nasdaq is on Chicago time? I think that's what it is. It's exchange time. I think I'm going to change it to session time. So this is 8:30. Let me see if I do this 8:25. Yeah. See, now it's starting to New York. I think I know what it is. So gold starts trading different hours than Nasdaq does, and it's all based upon Chicago Central Time. It's really annoying, like unless you really know the in or outs. The bottom line is, if you're not seeing the New York session because of the setup, you just simply have to go an hour back, because Chicago is 1 hour back from New York. So I just reset the Nasdaq component to 1 hour back, and that's why now you start to see the New York session being built in the thing. So anyways, Claudio, this has an explanation of the strategies, but it has a couple of typos in there that I just have to fix, but you can download it. Gold is 8:20 Eastern Open, right? And Nasdaq is 9:30 Eastern Open. So that's why you get this little screw up on the boxes, which is actually fine. Once you know that, you can do it. And you know what, Claudia, I'm glad you asked me this, because that's a piece of I'm going to put this into the new dots PDF just to let people know, hey, if you're configuring gold, it should be these levels. If you're configuring Nasdaq, just configure it at this time frame on the thing, and I'll put the screenshots of the configurations. It's not a big deal, but it just now you understand why it's happening. So now we have the New York box. This is the New York box. This was the London box. Are we going to break? Are we going to break the London highs? What do you think? I think we probably will. We'll see. Gold is hanging around session highs here on the London box as well. We'll see what it wants to do. So I am, just to kind of show you, we have one account funded, right? Just going to give you an update. One account funded off a single trade. 2 accounts blown, which is expected. And this one account, this is the account, we're trying to run that towards 53. This is the account that we started, half an hour ago. It's at 51.8. I'm going to try to get it to 52 on a one lot trade kind of a basis. And then we'll see if we want to do any kind of kill shot trades, like just one trade at 10 large to get it funded. We'll see if that, if we really want to take a bite on that for now. Gold back again to a signal for us. Let's buy it. Okay. Let's see if gold. Now this is session highs. Let's see if it double tops here. If it double tops here, this is what I'm talking about, where a failure of the model actually gives us some really interesting information. Because if the model fails here, right? In other words, if the A1 signal fails, hopefully it won't. Let's see. Let's see if I can extend it a little bit more. 62.8, 63.8 is my target. Actually, I should. 63.5 should be my target. It's a little bit back, but this might fail. We'll see. But if it fails, that's an important piece of information for us. It's telling us that we may be ready for a little bit of reversal. Now, here's the thing about reversal. We need to see a red dot reversal. We need to see the thing print a red dot on a reversal, a purple dot or a red dot, in order for us to do a short off this A1 model. So until we get a red dot reversal, we really don't have a signal the other way. But that's fine. We got a stop out. That's an interesting piece of information. It tells us, it looks like we may have double topped here at session highs. Is this thing going to come back down maybe to the 55s? Can we trade it the other way? Let's give it a shot. "45 seconds. Let's see if this breaks the moving average, comes back down to the lows. So you're starting to turn a little bit. Okay, let's see if this is going to give us a reversal signal. All right, I'm short here. Let's see. It might retrace on us, but I'm looking at targeting 57.6 here. Let's see if it'll come back down. Ah, damn it. Okay, good. So we reversed on size exactly off the information that we had. This is what I mean about the great thing about the dots model. there's no reason to, to get pissed. A stop is just a really interesting piece of information that tells you that the model may be exhausted the other way around. So now we're almost at 52,000, right? We still don't have any really clear signals here on Nasdaq. Nasdaq is just dicking around. Gold is clearly the trade, but gold now is in this consolidation box, and I'm really not interested in trading gold in any meaningful size until it either breaks the New York highs or would turn negative trend here for the time being. The blue square is the London session highs lows. That's the London session square. The green square is the New York session. Okay, the yellow square was the Asia session. But you see how that worked, guys? And all of that is really a function of discipline, right? A function of understanding your model, why your model succeeds, why your model fails, and what it's telling you when it fails, and how you could, basically, as usual, turn lemons into lemonade. That's like 90% of trading is turning lemons into lemonade. Anybody did the reverse trade with me? Yes, no, maybe. Preach, got it. Preach, my friend. Sammy. All right. A lot of people in the room here. Say hi to me. Where are you from? Are you from? We'll do continents. Who's here new from Europe? Who's here new from North America? Who's here new from Latin America? We really don't have enough Latin Americans in the room here. $900 off the lawn. Teak. Oh, nice job. Nice job. Michigan. All right. News 945 Phoenix. Ooh. Man, I really wish I was in Phoenix, Stacy. I am getting sick. It's like 20 degrees in New York. I fucking hate the winter. I hate the winter. I want to be in Florida with you guys or wherever you guys are at warm places. This is how you know I'm getting old and crotchety, is because I'm starting to hate winter and with a passion. And my wife hates Florida, so I am trapped forever in New York City. Ecuador, nice to have you. Nice to have you. Come hang out with us. We're also going to trade live 8 o'clock on Thursday. So CPI, big data. Johannesburg, nice to have you guys. Yes, I know. Rub it in. Rub it in. What's CLE? What's CLE, my friend? I don't read abbreviations. Rosemead, California, LA County, Toronto. Oh, wow. Manpress says he's been killing the trade session overlapping kill zones. It's great, short and sweet, nice. And Bob is going on a cruise to the Caribbean. Where are you going? Which Caribbean place are you going to? Cleveland. Oh, man, I feel you. Hungary. Budapest. Are we in Budapest? This is like my. All right, the cool. I'm convinced now, by the way, that if you want to go to the cool Europe now, is all of Central Eastern Europe. Like the cool European trip is not Paris, London, Frankfurt, or Paris, London, Munich. Although Germany is okay still, but like it's nowhere, or Paris, London, Florence. It's nowhere near cool. The cool Europe, in my opinion, is Budapest, Prague, Warsaw. That is where you want to be. I had so much fun in Prague a year and a half ago, and I would put Vienna. Actually, I would put Vienna in with Eastern Europe because Vienna is really, really cool. Chicago. I read your I read Chicago, Kelly, and I just got the chills from. I don't think I've ever been colder in my life than when I like walked out of Lou Malinelli's and had the Chicago winter draft from the river come in. God, it's the most miserable place there. Oh yeah, Philippines is definitely warm. Bob says that he was in Chicago at minus 23 one year. I believe it. I believe it. I love Chicago, but I love Chicago in the winter. I mean, in the summer. In the summer, Chicago is like the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, I don't like the mountains. I'm a pure ocean boy. What I like is Miami Beach in August. Okay, I like it when it's like 85 in the water, which is insanity. I know people think that's insane. That's my favorite. I want to float like a beached whale, 85 degrees, 90 degrees sun beating on my head. That makes me happy. And my wife is blonde, fair-skinned, and like burns at the sight of a 60-degree sun ray. So you can imagine how well that goes in our family. Yeah, I need a hot tub in the winter. It's true. I'm an island boy, that's for sure. For sure. I'm born in Russia, and I hate the cold weather. Yeah, and Jersey is like not doing it. Oh, she just reminds me. I got to check the thermostats in Jersey, so the whole freaking thing doesn't freeze over. Let me make sure that the. Thank you. Okay, 60. All right, the house is still alive. Thank God. Okay. Thank God. Yeah. So we're super quiet, guys. Look at this. First 15 minutes, I guess. The news was all she wrote for the time being, but don't despair, because this is like the typical market doing nothing for the first half hour, and then at 10 o'clock we may start to get a push. And if we don't, the really cool thing, I mean, look how cool this is. You can literally see with the boxes that nothing of interest is going on, right? They're not touching the highs, not touching the lows. We're dicking around the middle area. It's the very, very visual definition of chop, which is like the thing for us not to do. And it's so great to be able to see that visually. So you're not really like floundering like a chicken without a head. Did I mix about 1,000 metaphors in that statement? Sure. My A2 settings, this is my standard settings that I think I did the default settings for you guys. Basically, I show trend. I'm always trading trend. A setup does not require fresh consecutive start. It's at a 2 dot level. It's an A2 level. Requires slope confirmation. Doesn't need minimum range. That's it. That's it. So just like literally A setup with a slope and a trend is all you really need for my A2 setup. And on my A1 setup, the same thing, but the only thing is I just go to 1 dot instead of 2 dots, just to give myself higher probabilities. Obviously, in an instrument that's really moving. The boxes are from the beginning of the session to the end of the session. They're not like ORB boxes. These are just pure session boxes. I don't trade opening range breakout. This is not an opening range breakout strategy. Okay. We'll have people, by the way, as I said, we're going to be doing a big show in January, which should be really fun. They'll talk about ORB and some people who are very successful trading it. That's great. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to trade it. I don't trade ORB because, again, the strategy that we trade is high precision, high accuracy, small size scalping, not only because it's good for evals. I mean, it's fine for evals, but where we shine is on the PAs. because you can see on my strategy over here, right? I am net positive on all my accounts. Why am I net positive on all the accounts? Because I am trading small size, high precision entries. It may take me a while, but I will pay out every one of these accounts. Okay, versus which is one approach of things versus like taking 20 accounts, blowing 19 of them, and maybe getting paid out on one. It's fine. There's lots of different ways, I said, to trade, but I'm looking to trade these accounts for the rest of my life, or at least for the next 10 years on a pure payout basis. I'm going to try to make them income generation, and I do that by high precision entry structures. So you like trading scalping with me, that's what you get here. Name of the indicator is BFF dots only. It's not available. You won't find it anywhere, Henry. It's a proprietary indicator for TradingView and well charts only for my coaching students. Ah, 85 in the ocean is paradise. Ah, there we go. So still, and look at this, by the way, the other interesting thing is you can see that New York session, just the range of the New York session is only $10 in gold, only $50. Is it 250? No, 150. 150 in Nasdaq, which is not a lot. But Nas is approaching the highs of the New York session, right? At least that's interesting. We're still negative trend, by the way. The big trend, this little trend is below the big trend, so we haven't even turned positive trend. That's very interesting. So are we looking for Nas? Is Nas going to reverse and break out? Let's see. Definitely slowed down a lot. Right. The indicator appears on your TradingView once you purchase it. I enable it, and then you have it. That's correct. Second A1 in gold. Yeah, going away. Not much. So the other cool thing is you can trade like different looks, right? You can trade the A1 on a more on a more trendier instrument, and an A2, which is a more requires greater confirmation on an instrument that really hasn't showed a lot of price action. I kind of like this. We're starting to get New York session highs. Let's give it a shot for one shot. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, we're long here. Let's see if this is going to work for us. And it's done. See that? I told you, like, you can literally see, like, this is so cool. You can literally see the flow when you're around the session high, right? It's coming to the session high. You get the A1 target. You're like, okay, let's give it a shot. But, you got to be you snooze, you lose. And now it's a double top. Now it's really, really not trading. It was like the last gasp of the bulls. We managed to run it, but boy, it really turned around hard. So that's interesting. In the meantime, hey, we do have an A2 in Nasdaq, so we're definitely going to take a look at this one. 12 seconds left. We're going to put Nasdaq on this one. And see if it holds. This is it goes away. It goes away. Never mind. No trade. No trade. No trade. No trade in Nasdaq. Nasdaq kind of took out the session highs and then died without a trace. Again, a lot of fake out moves here is really interesting. Good, perfect example of where the indicator saves you from false trips. Yeah, so this is a perfect example, Henry. This is what I mean. Like you saw it about to break out, but then it didn't, right? The breakout turns into a fake out. And what's great about BFF is it doesn't fall for the fake out. It does not fall for the fake out. Most traders would have chased that move in Nasdaq and gotten stopped. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't sometimes get tripped into a fake out. Sometimes it does, but it's designed not to get fooled into a fake out. I call it my New York indicator. It detects bullshit from a mile away. But that's the key thing. Like mathematically, it's exactly it. It's looking for confirmation. If it doesn't get it, it doesn't show you the trade. Yep, got saved out on the move. So now we tested the New York session highs. Are we going to New York session lows? I mean, is this it? Or are we just going to churn? I mean, it may be just where we're just dicking around. It's a very, very technical indicator, technical term for this. Price action is just dicking around. But that's what we're doing. Yes, the trend as we define it in our basic model, 208. If 8 is above 200, it's positive trend. If it's below, it's negative trend. Right now, it's positive trend. You can actually see it. It literally says on a table, uptrend 8 over 200. Right? It tells you. Right? Where's my thing? Where's my magnifying glass? Where's my magnifying glass? What happened to it? What happened to my magnifying glass? Oh, there it is. Wow. I was like, what? Oh, I know why. Because this treats it as two separate things. So anyways, yeah. Clearly in gold, the uptrend is 8 over 800. And clearly I guess it's not doing it over here. Let me see if I can do it like this. If I highlight this, yeah, there we go. And see, now we're an uptrend in Nasdaq. We actually could be setting up for a second run to the New York session highs in Nasdaq. First dot, if we get a second dot, A2 signal, we're going to go long Nas. I'm actually going to switch this to Nasdaq and put this on the A2. So we're going to have just for a little bit, we're going to have two of the same tabs. So you guys can actually follow this trade, 34 seconds trade, mainly because if I'm going to go into this trade, I can only display the price action on this particular part of the tab. So I'm just going to mirror this thing, the configuration. 21 seconds left. Let's see if it wants to hold wants to give us the move. No go, not yet. So still consolidating, but we're much more positive now. We're positive trend. We're holding above the 8 SMA. They are challenging the highs. So we'll focus ourselves on NAS for the time being to see what possible trade setups there are. What if you buy and pass the big accounts but trade small and PAs? Yeah, that's exactly what we do. I'm trading my PAs with like a 1 or 2 micro sizes. That's exactly what we do. We talk about that in coaching all the time, about how we transition. Oh, I gotta say something. I gotta tell you something interesting that I was. This is a really interesting thought that a dancing coach actually shared it. So I was at my daughter's tap dancing rehearsal yesterday, right? And they were showing like all of the practice, like the kind of the mechanics of their tap dancing steps. It was like, it was for parents just to show them how much progress they've made. By the way, man, is it hard to tap dance well. But she was just showing the proper steps, right? And she said something super interesting. She said that you need to have muscle memory. To be a good dancer, you need to have muscle memory. And to have good muscle memory, you have to practice the proper step over and over again so it becomes almost subconscious in your mind. But then she said something super interesting. She said that if you're practicing the step badly, in other words, if you're, extemporizing, if you're creating your own variance of the step, if you're doing something different than what the step is required, it's actually worse than doing nothing at all. Because what you're doing is you're creating toxic muscle memory. You're creating the wrong kind of muscle memory that's very hard to unlearn. Like once you learn bad habits physically, you have to completely deconstruct, your whole process and start from scratch. And she was talking about this, and I realized that is so applicable to us. Like we have setups, right? And they're proper setups to do, and they require patience and technique, which is like we don't enter into a trade until the trade closes. We don't enter a trade until we have a label. We don't enter a trade until we have trend and stuff like that. And whenever we deviate from that, when we what's the word I'm looking for? Not innovate, but just basically extemporate, decide to change the parameters of the trade, right? We're actually creating really bad habits, which become part of our trade muscle memory. And they're kind of very toxic. That's why we repeat so many of our bad toxic patterns, because that's what we do in order to, I'm telling you at a loss for words, but you guys know what I mean. When we are kind of reinventing our own rhythm, right? And because we're bored, or because we're like, oh, this is kind of an interesting variation of the setup, let me try it, right? Let me try it, which is fine. Like I'm all for let me trying it, but don't don't under any illusion think, but that is this good? No, didn't make the trade. Okay, I'm just looking for the A setup. So we're pushing higher, but in a very stealth fashion. We're just not getting the signals. So I'm not moving. See, I'm not taking any trades. And like somebody who was like kind of cowboying this would have said, oh, let me try this because it's close enough. It didn't give me a signal, but let me try it, and then it would have worked. And then they were like, oh, that's a muscle memory that I now have. I'm going to try it again. And of course, it's going to fail in the future because it's not a legitimate setup. So it's really interesting. And what was interesting is that practicing bad habits is worse than having no habits at all, because your mind and body remember whatever it is that you imprint on it, right? It's very true for me. I mean, I had a whole bunch of bad habits that I still practice, and I know that I instinctively revert back into them, and you have to make a very conscious effort to say no. I'm not going to do that. That's a bad habit. I'm going to do something different. But it was really interesting analogy between dancing and trading. It's all the same thing. You're training your mind into good habits And you know, until you realize that. Let's try button. A very bad habit. Yeah. So, you know, I think, Nico, the thing is that let's try is very valuable. It just needs to be done. It can't be, you need to have, like, this is another good reason, by the way. This is the great thing about Apex. I'm going to buy a couple of more accounts now. I'm going to buy a couple of Wealth Charts accounts now at 25,000. The great thing about like cheap accounts is you have a temptation to try a certain setup. Maybe it's a new thing that you see that's kind of interesting. You can do it in your bullshit account. You can try it, and if it's working, then it kind of, you know, upgrades itself into a real setup. I'm all for experimentation. I think it's very, very important to experiment, because if you reduce yourself to like formulaic approach, you're inevitably going to get stuck in the market. The markets are always changing, and you need to be open-minded. Like, for example, this whole idea of like, oh my God, the stop is actually a super interesting reversal pattern, was something that I just, you know, really came about by experimenting. But you need like a segregated place to experiment with ideas. The thing that we do that's really, really bad is we experiment on the accounts that we're trading with for real, and that always hurts. Nasdaq did not really flip, but it kind of, you know, kind of died out. Oh, by the way, I haven't even looked at gold. Let's put gold on here. What's gold doing with itself? Gold is just quiet. Nothing. Wow, nothing is really going on here, guys. Everything is super, super quiet. We're mid-range on gold. What I love about this, by the way, is like, you see how it's just showing you the boxes? I love the fact, like, the great thing about the session boxes is it tells you where you are in field of play, right? If you think about this, like if you're playing European football or American football, you know, if you're at the top, you're like ready to score. You're right there at the scoring place. If you are kind of middle, you know, you're nowhere. If you're at the bottom, you're either, you know, scoring on that side, or you're reversing and you're doing a counterattack, right? Like, this is not a great trade. Like, even though this is A2 setup, it's middle of the range. It actually didn't even hold. And it's not something that, you know, that I want to commit myself to. If this thing goes through 64s and pops through there, makes fresh highs, yeah, then I kind of want to trade it. You know, I definitely want to trade it. So orienting yourself on the field of play is really valuable by having these session boxes. Sorry, copy of my layout. You mean my settings? These are my settings. These are my settings. Yes, it is easier. You're absolutely right. Just like as it is easier to learn to dance when you've never danced before, if you have good talent. Oh, so we're starting to break out to session highs. That's interesting in gold. Let's see if he wants to do it. See, like I was like, you know, unless we take out the session highs, I don't want to commit. And this gold just did a nice big fake out on that, right? So let's see if it wants to, that 64, 65 level, really important. And it's not like you can't see it. It's not like you can't see it without the boxes. Just the boxes make it so much easier, right? Okay, 64, 63. Let's see if we can hold it. Ten, 11 seconds left. I don't love this candle, but if it holds, we'll go with it. Okay, we'll go. I'm long. Let's see if this extends a little higher. And we're done. See, going to the high and waiting patiently, boom. So now I'm above 52. I still don't have any like high confidence set up because the market just is totally dicking around doing nothing. So I'm just going to be doing $100 trades. We'll see, for the rest of the day, or until I see some good shot, and see if I can get it close to getting funded. I mean, obviously, you want to get it funded today if you're interested, because that great discount disappears. But you also don't want to do, like I'm only $800 away from funding in this account. Here's the account. You can see it, right? I'm like, $850 from getting funded. You don't want to do a stupid trade just for shits and giggles. You want to have some confidence in this trade. I may just simply do $100 trades for a little while. Hopefully get it to 500 to target, and then just maybe do one trade. We'll see. I don't even know. I'm like feeling like such shit right now that I don't even know if I'm going to trade for the rest of the day. But that's not the point. The point is, these are good habits. The indicator helps us trade good habits. The indicator showed us that gold was the trade today. Look at us. We didn't do almost any trades in Nasdaq, right? All the trades we did was in gold. Why? Because that's where the action was, and that's what the indicator showed us. That's what makes it so good, All right, guys, I'm kind of fading, and I want to try to see if I can save myself for the tomorrow and for CPI. Is it possible using TradingView for the indicator and trading on MT5? Yeah. As a matter of fact, Alan, there are a lot of brokers, including 8cap, that let you trade on TradingView. So you could use this. Hang on, let me show you. Okay, let me show you the beauty of all of this. Let me see if I can do it. Hang on. All right, so here's ACAP, right? Here's TradingView, and obviously we don't want to do futures. We want to trade CFDs. So here's NDQ 100, right? Or gold. You want to trade gold? Here's gold. Because gold, gold, same signals, right? We can trade gold on TradingView with the indicator, right? Like what's my gold targets? It's 100 to 300, right? I'm gonna just buy it just for shits and giggles. Here, I bought it. You can see. You see, I bought gold here on CFDs, and maybe I'm gonna move this down. We'll see. Maybe I'll make this trade. The point is, you can just as easily trade CFDs using this indicator with ACAP as you can with anything else. See, we're on 25, and see, let's say I'm just going to take profit here. Ah, shit! It just went away. I just missed my target. But the point is, I could have, this obviously wasn't a signal. I just wanted to show you that yes, you could trade gold. Yeah, it's super easy. That's the beauty of it. If you have a TradingView integration, it's super easy. All right, guys, I am definitely fading. Great session. We funded one. We're close to the other. I'll update you tomorrow, see how it goes. Tomorrow we'll probably trade real accounts. We'll try to trade wealth charts on our real accounts and move those forward. And then Thursday we're gonna do CPI and see how that goes. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Last pitch for everybody to get Apex. It's actually 90% off. Here's the login. Buy as many accounts as you can, because trust me, you're going to be very, very happy. You'll blow a few, you'll experiment with a few, you'll fund a few, and they'll be so cheap. You'll be like, oh my God, because the moment they go up to like, 2-3 times, they go from 19 to like, 50, 60, you're like, I can't believe I missed that sale. You can never buy enough of these things when they're cheap because they're always really useful. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will see everybody tomorrow. Everybody have a great night, great day. Take care. Bye-bye.